Well, hi there, it's Christopher Westfall, the Senior Savings Network. We're in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic of 2020. I just want to update you on some things that have been coming to light recently from some state regulators as to some Medicare alternative insurance options that seniors have found over the years that have just now borne themselves out to be pretty much worthless. I want to share those with you. And just in case you're starting your Medicare journey and considering some of these options to save money on real insurance by going to alternative forms of insurance that, just as we're finding out in this particular crisis, are not worth much. Here in the middle of this pandemic, my office is doing just fine. We're doing what we've always done, which is helping seniors across the country with their Medicare insurance needs right over the phone. Not much has changed. We have shut the office. We did so early in the pandemic because we have a lot of people in the office that have children, and we did not want them catching something potentially at work, taking it home to their children or to their other loved ones, like one of our employees takes care of his grandfather. We don't want that to happen. So what we've done is we've closed the office and sent everyone home with their hurricane go bags. In these go bags, we have a laptop, a mouse, headset, everything we need to conduct business over the phone as we always have done. We have the unfortunate experience in South Carolina to sometimes have to evacuate due to hurricanes, so we were prepared for just such times as this. We've had our virtual meetings with our entire office. Everything's gone off without a hitch. We're taking care of people every day. But what came to light recently was an article. I want to share a couple of things with you, and I know it's sometimes annoying to have someone read to you, but for the purposes of expressing my opinion at the end and some alternatives to what has been coming out in the news, it's important to verify with credibility from other sources things that have been exposed that I've always had trouble with. And that is when people are pitched to sign up for something that sounds too good to be true. But you know, when you're 64 years old and you're looking for alternative insurance solutions and Obamacare seems so expensive, I understand that people are often deluged with things from other agents to try to save money by getting alternative forms of insurance, and sometimes it's not even insurance. And this crisis has exposed what potential horrible things can happen when they do that. This first article is from Axios Health. It's one of the articles that are one of the sites that I subscribe to for information on how health insurance is actually being managed. And this one says, how a coronavirus scare can lead to surprise medical bills. And this is from February 25th, kind of early on in the coronavirus scare. It says, a man in Miami went to the hospital to receive a test for the coronavirus after developing flu-like symptoms, only to receive the news that he didn't have it. That's good, right? And a $3,270 medical bill, the Miami Herald reports. And in here it says, the threat of coronavirus is already exposing the holes in some healthcare systems, particularly for low-income people and for those without health insurance. If affordability concerns keep people from receiving care they need or staying home in order to prevent the transmission of the virus, we've got an even bigger problem. It goes on to say, this man in particular, had a short-term health insurance plan, which usually has skimpy benefits in exchange for lower premiums. And they don't have to cover pre-existing conditions. The Trump administration expanded these. And here's the big part, the quote. The hospital told the Herald that the patient is only on the hook for $1,400 based on his insurance. But his insurance told him that first, he must provide 3 years of medical records to prove that his flu did not relate to a pre-existing condition. First of these alternative plans we're going to talk about is the short-term health plan, which was supposed to be a stopgap measure between maybe individual insurance and another employer plan, or individual insurance and maybe Medicare, a short-term stopgap plan. Well, under the law, these plans, which are real insurance, but they're very limited in scope, they are underwritten at the time of claim. What does that mean? It means they'll approve anybody. They'll take your premium. What they won't do is pay one thing for you until you go on claim. And then they want to know, hey, were you even qualified to begin with? Because remember, it's a short-term plan. If you were on this plan for 12 months, never went on claim, never once asked anything of the plan, they kept all your premiums, and then you went on your way, great. Health plan wins, you are out your premium. But the minute that you go on claim, that's when they want to underwrite you and look at you in the first place to see if you ever should have had insurance in the first place. The patient works for a medical device company that doesn't offer health insurance to employees. That's the kicker. And then it says, this is the story actually from the Miami Herald. It says, a man who flew to China worried that he might have coronavirus. Now he may owe thousands. After returning to Miami last month from a work trip to China, Osmel Martinez Azcue found himself in a frightening position. He was developing flu-like symptoms just as coronavirus was ravaging the country he had just visited. Under normal circumstances, he would have gone to CVS for over-the-counter flu medicine and fought the flu on his own, but this time was different. As health officials stressed preparedness and vigilance for the respiratory illness, he felt it was his responsibility to his family and his community to get tested for the novel coronavirus known as COVID-19. He went to Jackson Memorial Hospital, where he said he was placed in a closed-off room. Nurses in protective white suits sprayed some kind of disinfectant smoke under the door before entering. Then, hospital staff members told him he needed a CT scan to screen for coronavirus, but he asked, shouldn't he have a flu test first? Quote, this will be out of my pocket, he said, who has very limited insurance plan. Recalled saying, quote, let's start off with the blood test, and if I'm positive, just discharge me. Fortunately, that's exactly what happened. He did have the flu, not the deadly virus that infected tens of thousands of people, mostly in China, and killed at least 2,200 as of Friday's update. This is back again a while ago. But 2 weeks later, he got an unwelcome news in the form of a notice from his insurance company about a claim for $3,270. And the article goes back to talk about the temporary plans, these short-term plans. In 2018, President Donald Trump's administration rolled back the Affordable Care Act regulations and allowed so-called junk plans in the market. Consumers mistakenly assume that the plans with lower monthly costs will be better than no insurance at all in case of a medical catastrophe, but often the plans aren't very different from going without insurance altogether. These are the short-term plans. Hospital officials at Jackson told the Miami Herald that based on his insurance, he would be responsible for only $1,400 of that bill. But as Azcue said, he heard from his insurer that he would also have to provide documentation of 3 years of medical records to the insurance company to prove that he got the flu, that it did not relate to a pre-existing condition. While his experience shows a potential cost of testing for the disease, which now, as you know, all the legitimate insurers are covering at virtually no cost now. Sabrina Corlett, Georgetown University professor and co-director of the Center for Health Insurance Reform, said, if they have one of these junk plans and they know they might be on the hook for more than they can afford to seek care, a lot of them just won't. And that is a public health concern. She says further, or the article says, these premiums shot up, those premiums that he was paying before on an Affordable Care Act plan, shot up to $400 a month when his full-time salary kicked in at his job. So he canceled his plan in November. He said he now pays $180 a month for the limited plan from National General Insurance. I know a lot of agents are selling this plan. The commission is very, very high. Why is that? Where does the money go? Questions I ask. Quote, the limited plan's requirements to provide 3 years of medical records before coverage kicks in, Corlett said, is not uncommon. The professor said she's seen it come up for conditions like cancer that were never diagnosed but might have been hinted at in doctors' visits from past years. That's the critical difference between the Affordable Care Act plans and junk plans, she said. Junk plans will not cover pre-existing condition. A spokesperson for National General did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Going down here, plans that comply with the Affordable Care Act often have high deductibles, Corlett said, but are likely to provide more reimbursement than the restricted plans. Plus, she added, those ACA plans are required to cover flu shots and other preventive care. Quote, the idea that the insurer would have to comb through 3 years of his records just to determine if the flu was a pre-existing condition is just crazy, Corlett said, but that's how most of these plans operate. So that's short-term health plans. And I just want to share with you something that just came out. It was a directive from the state of New Mexico. This order was sent, directed by the governor to the insurance department to insurance companies to make sure that they are communicating with their insured clients to let them know which limited benefit plans actually have virtually no coverage whatsoever for the coronavirus. Listen to this. This is from one of the insurance companies. It's just happened in late March 2020. New Mexico notice of COVID-19 coverage. The coverage provided under this benefit plan or a policy underwritten by our insurance company is limited in nature and may not provide financial protection for significant costs that you could incur for the diagnosis or treatment of COVID-19, the coronavirus-related illness. This is, again, a required notice from New Mexico that all insurance companies have to give for people who have things like these short-term health plans, hospital indemnity plans, which only pay under very limited, tight circumstances of your admission to the hospital, and so forth. It goes on. This is the required language. If you do not have comprehensive major medical coverage, in addition to this plan or policy issued by our company, you may incur significant uninsured medical expenses associated with the diagnosis and treatment of illness caused by COVID-19. I don't think it could be any clearer, right? Major medical plans offer robust consumer protections and are required to waive all deductibles, copays, and other cost-sharing expenses for the diagnosis or treatment of COVID-19 related illness. This policy or plan is not a major medical plan and does not provide such protections. If you don't have a comprehensive major medical coverage, you may contact a licensed insurance broker or agent to see about major medical coverage availability, or to see if you're eligible for the New Mexico Health Insurance Exchange, and it just makes some other references down the Center for Disease Control, New Mexico Department of Health. But this warning is indicative of these plans who have been, in some cases, maybe preying on people. That's my own humble opinion. Another category of things that are alternatives to getting real Medicare insurance, which is what my office focuses on, real Medicare insurance. I could not, in good conscience, sell a junk plan to somebody that I know has holes big enough to drive a Mack truck through. Why? Because as luck would have it, of course, what's going to happen? The person's going to get the very thing that this plan does not cover. Now, the other thing I want to talk about, in addition to short-term limited benefit Medicare medical plans, and also like hospital indemnity plans. See, so many agents, the commission on those things are ridiculously high. If I sell you a short-term medical plan, a hospital indemnity plan, a cancer, heart attack, stroke plan, a accident plan, and pile all this crap together, excuse me, but if I pile all this stuff together, you'll think, wow, it covers absolutely everything. Where could I go wrong? And where you could go wrong is something like a virus that's not listed in the accident. It's not an accident. It's not going to be covered by a short-term plan that has very specific limited benefits or surgical benefits that are assigned if you hit just the right thing, or a cancer policy that triggers cancer, but wait, this is not cancer. It's not a comprehensive plan. That's the point. And yeah, a lot of people know you're giving up all that coverage for a limited benefit plan, but you better hope that you check off every single one of those things to get any benefit from those plans. So, an interesting follow-up to this story. National General, because of all the media exposure, went ahead and waived this case for the man and paid his claim for him. However, what would have happened had this not gone through the media? Would they have still required 3 years worth of doctor's records to verify that he was eligible for insurance in the first place? I don't know. You be the judge. But coronavirus and testing is not covered on short-term medical plans. But guess where it is covered? On Medicare Supplement insurance. Stay tuned on the next video. We're going to talk about Christian Sharing Ministries and how they impact you if you're eligible for Medicare and you're relying on them for real medical care. I'm Chris Westfall. Thanks for watching. We have a lot of competitors in this space. Just a handful of us that I know that do this over the phone. This is my 12th year of helping people with Medicare specifically over the phone across the country. It's very seldom that we see clients face to face. However, next time you're traveling to Charleston, South Carolina, please stop in and see us in our office. We'd love to see you and meet you in person. But all of our clients are remote, and we've mastered the art of being able to communicate effectively what the Medicare options are and find the best plan and do that electronic enrollment in a painless and quick and easy way right over the telephone without having to go into someone's home. I've been one of the biggest advocates of trying to get others in our industry to come along with this journey. We're in year 2020. For over 150 years, we've had fax machines out there. And there are still agents that knock on doors, drive to people's houses, have one or two maybe plans that they're maybe heavily incentivized from to write on a local basis that they really don't know what's happening nationally. And if they're stuck in their home and you're stuck in your home, they have no mechanism by which to conduct that business. They've maybe never even done an electronic application before, which is so simple to do. And a lot of people are stuck in the 50s, in the 60s, when insurance agents were known for their shoe leather, how much they could burn just going door to door, seeing the people. And while that's all well and good, we are in now the 21st century. And seniors, customers, should not have to expect that they have to go down somewhere to sit in someone's office to hear what their options are for Medicare or any other insurance. I really am thankful on a daily basis that not only did I find a niche in insurance where we can help people, tangibly help people by putting money in their pocket. Most all of our clients are on a locked-in fixed income, and what we're able to save them money by moving them from a very expensive Medicare supplement to a very inexpensive Medicare supplement while keeping the same doctor, the same hospital, the same benefits. It's a joy to be able to do that every day. And I'm doubly thankful for, in a time such as this, and a national, worldwide pandemic where people are literally restricted to their homes, our business goes on. The State Farms of the world, the farmers of the world, those brick and mortar places where you have to go down and sit in an office and see them, those guys are hurting right now. And to the extent that they can, they really need to adapt on what we've been doing for like 12 years. And that is getting effective and efficient at helping people to paint a story, to paint the picture of what the options are in a very clear and effective way, and then guide that person right through the enrollment process and make it painless. The insurance carriers, they've been ready, willing, and able for over a decade to accommodate business in this manner. And we've been helping them all the way through, providing feedback on what works and what does not work in the industry. And we've been very effective at delivering insurance like that. So no matter where you are in your Medicare journey, if you've been on a Medicare supplement for 3 years or more, you need to shop your Medicare supplement rate. I'll tell you why. All these plans go up. They go up every year. And unfortunately, my insurance company friends won't like this part, but the loyalty is sometimes just held for the people that are brand new customers. Have you ever experienced that before? Maybe with a cable bill, a cell phone bill, your bill just goes up, goes up, goes up. And then you see that same company offering a better deal for brand new customers, and you wonder, wait a minute, I've been the loyal customer for years, and you're gonna offer a lower monthly rate for the same thing that I've got to somebody because they're new. It hardly seems fair, right? And that's what we're best at, is shopping the market to keep the benefits the same, the freedom, the flexibility the same, while at the same time reducing that monthly bill by up to and over $100 a month. That's real money for somebody on a fixed income. So if you've been on a Medicare supplement for 3 years or more, there may be health questions, but we know exactly what those are. And we can help guide people to a plan that they may qualify for. Or if you're brand new to Medicare, and you've been trying to reach your agent down the street, but they're not returning phone calls, it may be because they're not in the office right now. It may be because they don't have the mechanism whereby they can communicate to you what's available. And they may not know what's going on with that local insurance company that's available just in your area, where we can probably tell you if they're taking a rate increase that's been filed coming across the country. So if we can help you with a second opinion, or we can help you with your Medicare insurance in any way, shape, or form, please reach out and let us know. As to these plans that are less than stellar, less than comprehensive, we won't offer them in our office. We just simply won't. I don't care if the commission is 70% for a short-term plan, that you can package this and package that and sell this and add this policy and add that policy and make a fortune on each person. There's a reason why I've kept to doing one thing and doing it very well, and that's specifically Medicare insurance, because I believe you can be a jack of all trades and a master of none, or you can be an expert known for your expertise in one area. And that's why I focus on one thing, and that's Medicare insurance for our senior community. If I can help you in any way, please reach out and let us know. God bless you where you are. I hope you're making it through this crisis period. with very minimal impact on you. Our country will get through it. Our employees and our industry here will get through it. Some easier than others. Others will have to absolutely retool. But we're ready, we'll make it, and we'll be here for you through it all. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.